For those who have been less than enamoured with the first half of the global Mazda MX-5 Cup and iRacing in general, stay tuned as I've got a big announcement at the end of this video that I hope is going to get you excited. Hey guys, and welcome along to another video. If this is your first time here and you like watching all sorts of sim racing related stuff, subscribe now and click the bell icon so you get notified of every video I upload and you don't miss a thing. So here we are then at the Phoenix International Raceway, soon to be rebranded ISM, and we're going to jump straight into the action here. So I started in 5th, reasonably happy with that one. We did have a race before, but it was an absolute disaster. As you can see up ahead, there's almost contact, but the guy in blue takes some real evasive action here, as we're going to have to ourselves before we hit 3rd up the backside. We're alongside now, so we're going to be at the outside for this corner and then the inside for this one here. But the guy does a good job here of staying to the outside, which is going to give him the inside in the final turn, turn number 7, before we rejoin the oval section of the track. So breaking down into here, I'm going to let him through here because remember, we still have to think of our safety rating. So this week I wanted to get my safety rating above 4.0, leaving me only the MPR to do. And for those who don't know, that's the minimum participation requirements before I can get up to C before the end of this season. I did a race before this. It was an absolute disaster. There was a few spins and nothing worse showing at all. So I entered this race at 3.74 safety rating. I went up 1 in the last race despite my nightmare, so I start this one at 3.75, 0.25 off where we need to be to get promoted. So again, going to have to drive safe, otherwise we're going to be stuck in these Mazdas dealing with people like you saw in the opening clip forever. So I'll fast forward slightly here to lap number 3, and this corner here is the most difficult corner that I have come across in iRacing so far. I'm going to go wide here into turn 1, get 1 times instant point there, and I also go down to 5th. So the weight shift in these Mazdas is so tough to control, but it's a great learning point and has really helped me. I think some of you have commented and noticed it as well in Gran Turismo Sport. So I'm really keen to get this 4th place back, as I was definitely quicker than him, and I want to, whilst I'm trying to concentrate on our safety rating and get above that magic 4.0 that I'm confident we're going to do in this video, I definitely am still competitive and want to get as many points as possible towards my I rating. So here we are then, we're going to sit in the slipstream of this guy here. He's the 2 car, which means he's actually got a higher I rating than us. So it'll be interesting to see if we get ahead of him here. We're going to pull to the inside, coming down into the first corner where I made a mistake last time, and he's just going to yield the position. So I managed to get that 4th place back, and I need to minimise the turning and braking coming into this turn number 1 here, as it really unsettles the car. But looking ahead, P1, 2 and 3 are quite far up the road now, so I'm going to try and concentrate on pulling a gap to 4th and not get any more instant points through either contact with anybody else or going off the track or losing control. Jumping ahead here to lap number 11. We've been doing well so far. We lost a little bit of time to the guys in front, but we've managed to put out a good gap to the guy in 5th. So we've got 6 seconds there. We've had no incident points, so things are looking good to improve that safety rating. In a few moments though, you're going to see the yellow flags are out, and I tell you, 2nd and 3rd safety rating is not going to improve, as the guy in 3rd there in the blue, green and yellow Mazda has smashed into the guy in 2nd place. You saw that clip there in the intro. That was the one I used. That was the incident we've just seen, and we have been promoted up to 3rd as a result. But it hasn't ended there. It's not like GT Sport where you just get knocked off and you can get back to your race. Both the guy in front and the guy behind have damage. You can tell this because as we get to the very top end here, you can see on the relative in the bottom right, I'm making time up on the guy in front and I'm losing the guy behind. So there could be a second place on the cards here. So you can see there me correcting my car as I come down into the first corner. Definitely the most difficult corner I've come across. And we're going to get another gift here as the guy in second gives up his position to the guy who's behind me, and therefore we are now up to second place. If we can keep the second place here and still only have one incident point, that will really help towards our iRating and our safety rating, and then hopefully after this one we should only have one more race to do to get up to a license class C. Rejoining the action on the final lap here, that is how this second race here was to end. Can't say it is the most deserved second place that I've ever had, but I'll absolutely take it as we move on to race number 3. So here we are then, race number 3. I've qualified in 4, so I've got high hopes for this one. After checking the results, I went up to 3.91, so I hopefully just need this last race to jump up to 4.0 and get promoted to Licence Class C. So the aim of the game is again safety. I'm going to get to the inside where it's safe here. It's going to bottleneck slightly, but we managed to avoid all the issues. Will, however, is going to go up the inside here of this corner. I couldn't shut the door, otherwise there would have been contact. And as I've just mentioned, our first priority is those safety rating points. Once we get those safety rating points, as I say, we can get up to a higher license class, get a bit of a buffer so that we can be a lot more aggressive without the fear of being put down to a lower license level. So as you can see here, these guys are all over the place here having a good battle. We're going to go up the inside of Will here, so it's going to say right side here, as you can see. Just as well, it just goes clear on the right as Will flies up right in front of us, almost causes contact. So we're just going to have to be really, really careful for this one, because I think Will is a bit of a live wire. So coming down the front straight here, look at these guys flicking, sliding around all over the place as we come down into the first corner here. An absolute recipe for disaster. Will's going to go wide here. He's going to go up the inside again. He's going to make the move stick. But then we're going to hold on to the inside here and manage to take 4th place back off him. Really, really happy there. Keep your eye on the rear view here. There's plenty going on. Will almost hits us up the backside here. You can see he's embroiled in quite the battle with the guy who's behind him. They're side by side briefly. But what I need to do is get my head down here and get the hell away from Will. Moving forward to lap number 4 here, we've done a good job catching up with second and third and pulled almost a second on Will. But keep your eyes in the rear view here. Brilliant. Cheers, Will. So I get 4 incident points for that one. Will is then going to quit, and I'm going to continue not knowing my car is absolutely ruined, spin and collect somebody else in a head-on collision. Cheers, Will. Well done. So let's have a look at it from the replay there. You can see how far he comes back from. Absolute missions. At that point my race is over, but I don't realise it as I try and continue on. You're only going to see the extent of the damage there as I spin round and collect a completely innocent party. So the race is over right there, and that is why I prioritise safety over finishing position right now, so I can leave this all behind. So moving on to the 4th and final race here. This is one I didn't really want to do, but thanks to Will I needed to. I ended up with 6 incident points in that last race out of 17. and went up just 0.01 SR, so 3.92 heading into this one. I qualified in second. I'm naturally getting quicker through experience again. Thank you to you, Will. So here we are on lap 1. Got a decent start. I moved to the safety of the inside in that first corner again, and there's already a gap pulling out to third. First went wide up ahead there, as you can see some smoke on the right from something that happened. I don't know what happened there, but that is very easy in that corner to get crossed up. So as we come down onto the oval section here, I'm just going to try and stick with this guy and bring home the points we need to get the hell out of this Mazda class. So as you can see here, we're pulling away from the guy in third there. We're over 2 seconds ahead at that point as we start lap number 2, and things are looking good at this point. So coming down into the first corner here, you can see me working the wheel, trying not to lose it like we have done on a couple of occasions before, but we've survived it, we've taken it well, and we've got first within our grasp. So we're going to be in a position, if he makes any mistakes, which he's going to do right here, getting crossed up, to take the lead. So we're now up into first here. We've got no incident points, so all we need to do now is try and bring this one home. We're still in first as we come round during this fourth lap here, but Artem, as you can see, car number 1, meaning that he's the fastest guy coming into this race, is on an absolute rampage. So if he wants to go up the inside, that's absolutely fine. I'm not going to risk, God, look how much damage on his car. I'm not going to risk contact and have to do another race, so I'm not going to fight it, and we are down to second. Now I know that this kind of more conservative style of racing that I've had to do in the first half of this Mazda Championship frustrates some people, but guys, trust me, it is a means to an end, and you're going to see what the fruits of our labour are going to produce if we bring home a safe result in this one. So we've got through turn number 1, as I've mentioned a couple of times, is one of the most difficult corners I've faced in all of racing, certainly on iRacing. Just with this Mazda, it's so difficult with the weight to not get it all crossed up. But I'm going to get the power on too early and just get a little bit of a slide on there. I managed to catch it, so the game doesn't give me an instant point, which is great, but I do lose second and third in the process. So down to fourth now, but remember, more importantly, no incident points, and we're still on to get over 4.0 with our safety rating. We're going to rejoin the action here on lap number 9, just about to start lap number 10, and we've kept with the 2 guys in front. But I've mentioned this first corner as being the most difficult corner I've experienced in this car, and this is exactly the reason why. I lose the back end of the braking, and I just keep it out the wall with an arm full of opposite lock. I managed to have a spin, but without any incident points, amazingly. I'm not sure that's right, but I'll absolutely take it. We're completely on our own now, so I have to make sure over these next 5 laps that I come home with a clean race, and that should finally be enough for the SR we need for that promotion. We've moved here to the final lap now, and I'm going to let you into a little secret. I finished this race with no further incident, and we ended up with the 4.52 SR rating that we needed after an incident-free race, which now means that I can progress once I've done my minimum participation requirements, which I think is about 4 time trials. I can be free. So after 30 starts in the Mazdas, I am now free, and I can leave the likes of Will behind and move onwards and upwards, driving faster cars in the more exciting, in my humble opinion, formats. So now, let's get to that announcement that I mentioned at the start of this video. And this is it, guys. I have decided to enter the final 5 rounds of this season's IMSA Sports Car Championship. And starting tomorrow, which is Tuesday the 29th of Jan for those non-360p crew members, I'll be streaming each of these as we get into the real reason I bought iRacing, and I cannot wait. So to whet your appetite, the next 5 weeks of Tuesdays will consist of me racing at, starting tomorrow is Twin Ring Montegui, then Suzuka, then Interlagos, then here at Spa, and finally the Nürburgring. Now I cannot wait. Thank you all so much who have been patient and sat with me through the Mazdas. I know they aren't a lot of people's thing, and I'll also promise to never mention safety rating again. It's just something that you'll all find out if you're not familiar with iRacing that you have to do, but we paid our dues, we got it done over those 30 races, and it'll all be about iRating going forward. So guys, we got there, and the real reason I bought iRacing is literally right around the corner, and I hope to see you all tomorrow night. Yes, these GT cars don't have any ABS, but I hope to see you tomorrow night for the first stream. So guys, that is the end of the video right there. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow night. Cheers.